Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a couple fragrances that have animalistic notes. Well, what are animalistic notes? I'll explain. These can smell in diversity of cat piss, animal piss, sea animals, wet dog. Just a rough idea to give you an idea what you're putting yourself into in animalistic sense. There are some that are really, really good, and there are some that are outlandishly crazy in my own personal opinion. Honorable mention for this video is going to have to be Civet by Zoologist. I did not add it to this list. One of my most favorite animalistic scents. Definitely check it out and sample that one. So I got a couple here. We're gonna start from my absolute favorite to the worst in my own personal opinion. And we got number one. Number one is gonna be Fleuve Tendre by Liquides Imaginaries with top notes of orange, cardamom, cumin, coriander, saffron, black pepper, nutmeg. Then middle notes you have musk, animal notes, rosewater, geranium, petalia, which the chemical is supposed to emphasize on florals. Base notes musk, civet, suede, vetiver, incense, tonka bean, and patchouli. So I'm going to spray this, see how it smells. In my own personal opinion, I like this. But what you do have to watch out for this fragrance is it comes off very animalic. So the first thing that you get is the animal notes in a specific clear here. It's a very light scent of pea, to be quite honest. But when you get the orange coming in with the rose and the musk, it's very luxurious. It's very different. When you spray this on skin, the animal notes don't come out as bad. And if they do, it's very for a little bit, for like 5 minutes. Then it blends in with your skin and it creates something very, very special. This is probably one of the most complimented animalistic scents on my collection. And it's pretty cheap too. It can range between $90 and $100. So it falls into the category of like Manceras, for an example, and many designer scents. So I'd highly recommend this if you're looking for an entry level niche animalistic scent. And if you do not like the smell of a light pea in the background, it fades away very quickly, but I would understand why. Don't go for this one. But it's very, very sensual, and I've gotten a lot of compliments, and they never noticed the cat piss note. Next on my list is gonna have to be Mécanique de Désir. This is gonna be by Pia Guillermo, butchering the name again. And the notes on this are gonna be aldehydes, mandarin orange, cassis. Middle notes are going to be violet leaf, guaiac wood. And the base notes are going to be animal notes, musk, and amber. On this fragrance, I really don't catch on to the motor oil vibe because there is a motor oil note in this fragrance. Just emphasizing on that. It says it on their website, so there is a motor oil note in this fragrance. This is really nice. The animalistic notes here are kind of like a very tough bear. That's the best way to kind of put it. You get tough bear skin. That's what I smell here. Then you got the musk, the orange, the cassis that really stands out here a lot, like in the signature Bond Number 9 scents. You kind of get it with this. And the violet leaf stands out, and the woodsy notes too. The animal notes here are kind of like a 5% in the background. When we're talking about Fleuve Tendre, this kind of stands out like 25% animalistic notes. But here, all I really get is the violet leaf, the musk, and the orange, the cassis, the aldehydes. The animal notes kind of linger in the background, and I think that's just for longevity, to kind of say that. And that's number 2 as far as my most favorite animalistic note fragrance. And I would highly suggest this too, if you want something that's kind of like animalistic but not crazy. Number 3 is probably the one that I've sampled recently. And this fragrance by the same house again is called Animal Mundane by Pierre Guillaume. Butchered it again. So the notes that you get here are pear leaf, tobacco, honey, and hay. Animal notes, powdery notes, mahogany. Mahogany. As far as this fragrance, this is probably one of my fragrances. Like, this is just to me, because what you get from this fragrance is the pear leaf on top with the hay. It doesn't really get any more animalistic than this. This is a freshie for the winter time, in my own personal opinion. Let me see what Fragrantica says. Yeah, freshie for the winter time nights or cooler summer days. I would say 60s, 62, you know. Because there's something about this that kind of gives it that exotic vibe for the winter time. Because the pear leaf here comes off slightly sweet. The hay here, very noticeable. And the powdery notes here are also very sprinkled around. It's woody, the honey is here too. But where mostly you're going to notice here is the pear leaf, the tobacco, the animal notes, and the hay. And this fell number 3 on my list because of the fact that there's just something exotic about the hay and the pear leaf that are kind of like okay to me, but I can see this being an absolute banger for the winter time. As far as setting yourself apart, I like this, but it's not my most hated fragrance. Which leads me to getting closer to the most hated fragrance, which is number 4. This is going to be by the house of Nudiflorum. By the house of Nasomato, this is Nudiflorum. Nudiflorum is a fragrance that's raspberry, leathery, animal notes, oak moss, cedar, and rhubarb. If you guys haven't smelled rhubarb, it's kind of like, it smells very dirty and tough. That's the best way to kind of say it. Especially when you mix it with pineapple, it comes off like it's a dirty pineapple. Like, for an example, in X by Clive Christian, that smells like dirty pineapple. But that's the notes that you get here: rhubarb, raspberry, rose, leather, animal notes, oak moss, and cedar. So I got my little sample here from Scent Decants because they have 1 mls, and I love buying the 1 mls for $5 because that's definitely worth the price. But we're gonna go ahead and spray it. Well, the reason that I do not like this is because I'm not a fan of leather fragrances. What really stands out here: raspberry, leather, rose. The animal notes here come off very dry, almost like petting a dirty, thick-haired animal. That's kind of how this comes off. The oak moss and the animal notes here kind of give it that toughness, but the leather and the raspberry here kind of give it character, kind of putting in the family of a very exotic Tuscan leather by Tom Ford. This would kind of fall into that category of that. I just really don't like this because of the fact that I really don't enjoy leather notes. But if you want leather notes and something a little bit animalic, this might be for you, but it wasn't for me for sure. Yeah, it's alright for me. You can find bottles of this for around $100, $80. But your best bet as far as cheap fragrances, the Liquidus Imaginaries line is pretty solid. And the Pierre Guillermo lineup is also pretty cheap too. But Nudiflorum by Nasomato, for what you get, it's super, super strong. So the 1 fluid ounce is actually perfect because you don't need a lot. 2 sprays and you're good for the day. This is a nuclear bomb too. And as soon as it keeps on drying down, the animalistic notes start coming out more as like cheetah. That's the best way to put it. And you get the rose a lot more. That's going to be it for that one. Last but not least, this is going to be Nasamato's Sadonaso. This is going to be coffee, musk, tobacco, sandalwood, vanilla, animal notes, amber, and tonka. What I disliked about this fragrance isn't the fact that it has a coffee scent, because I like coffee, and all the notes that are appearing on here. But what I really, really didn't enjoy about this fragrance is that to me it smells like secretions. Let's put it that way. It's very chocolatey with coffee, but in the background, at least on my skin, it comes off like nut. Ugh, it's just really, really tough. It comes off like nut. If you taste it, huh? If you've smelled Magnifique Secretions by Estate Libre, this is kind of like that, but not with the sweaty nature. It's just coffee, musk, and nut. I don't mind it, but there's better options out there as far as that coffee animal note combo. And to me, this didn't make the cut. I still have it. Ooh, that's tough. I still have my 3 ml. I should have gotten like a 2 ml or 1 ml because I just really, really don't touch it. And the animal notes are just too outlandish for me. This is going to be winter time. If you feel challenged to coffee and animal notes, definitely give that one a shot. But to me, it's just a no-go. This is going to be winter time. If you feel challenged enough in a coffee date during the winter time, this would be perfect. And I think that's really about it, because that one's pretty challenging to pull off. The most easiest one here to pull off as far as daily usability, Flevette Andre by Liquidas Imaginaries, and the most difficult ones to pull off are Nudiflorum and Sadonaso by the Nasomato lineup. And that's going to be it for the most part. Let me know below what you guys think about these animalistic scents. So far, these were the 5 best to worst of the animalistic scents that I've tried so far. Drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I do mostly reviews on ultra niche fragrances, regular fragrances like everyday fragrances, motivational content, and card content. And that's basically about it. I love you guys. You already know the slogan. God loves you too. Peace out.